The correlation method for obtaining the reduced level of point does not provide a check on a correlation method for obtaining the reduced level of point does not provide a check on foresight, backside, change point, or intermediate point site. The answer is intermediate site. The rise and fall method for obtaining the reduced level of point providing a check on providing a check on providing a check on is backside, foresight only, backside only, intermediate site only, all of these reciprocal leveling eliminates error due to curvature, refraction, and correlation error, or both A and B, none of above. The answer is both A and B. Reciprocal leveling eliminates both errors and both errors. Which of the following statement is correct? In leveling, the effect of curvature is due to the staff, decrease the staff standard reading. The effect of refraction in leveling is to increase the staff reading. The combined effect of curvature and refraction in leveling is to increase the staff reading. All of the above. The leveling deals with measurement in horizontal plane, vertical planes, both of above, none of above. Vertical planes. Leveling deals with measurement in vertical plane. In leveling, the correction for curvature is equal to correction for curvature is equal to 0.0785 d square. 0.075885 d square. In leveling, the correction for combined curvature and refraction is equal to correction for combined curvature and refraction. कर्वेचर मात्रै छ, यहाँ कर्वेचर र रिफ्र्याक्सन दुईटैको लागि 0.00785 d square, 0.0785 d square, 0.012112 d square or 0.0673. इसको आंसर 0.00673 d square. For which of the following permanent adjustment of theodolite the SPAR test is used? Instrument permanent adjustment of theodolite, the speed test is used. Adjustment of the plane level, adjustment of line of sight, or adjustment of horizontal angle. All of the adjustment of horizontal angle. Theodolite ले के गर्छ जहिले नि horizontal axis लाई adjustment गर्छ. Pick up the old instrument: prismatic compass, theodolite, box sextant, or dummy level. Dummy level is the oldest instrument. think of the holding instrument. Dummy level is the holding instrument. The contour interval. The contour interval. The contour interval depends upon the nature of the ground, scale of map, purpose, and intent, extent of survey. All of these. Contour interval depends on nature of ground, scale of map, purpose of extent of survey. The vertical distance between the elevation represented by adjacent contour lines on a map is called vertical equivalent, horizontal equivalent, contour interval, or contour gradient. Contour gradient. The vertical distance between the elevation. The vertical distance between the elevation represented by the adjacent contour lines on a map is called contour interval. An imaginary line on the surface of the earth having a constant inclination with the horizontal is called an imaginary line on the surface of earth having a constant inclination with the horizontal and a slope is called contour gradient. A level line is a horizontal line parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of earth, line passing through the center of crosshair and the center of eyepiece. The answer is line parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of the earth. Line parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of the earth. Line leveling is horizon parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of the earth. A line level is line parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of the earth. Contour line, cross bridge or valley line at contour lines cross river, rigid or valley line, rigid or valley line is 90 degree, always 90 degree. Contour interval is inversely proportional to the scale of map. Contour interval is inversely proportional to the scale of map. Contour interval is always proportional to scale of the map. Contour interval. In route survey, the most suitable method of contouring is by square, by radial line, by cross section, or by trichometer. By cross section route survey is always suitable for the contouring is by cross section. The trichometer method of contouring is trichometer contouring method. Trichometer Tachometric method of contouring is particularly suitable when a contoured map of hill is required when the area is not very intensive in survey of the road or railways, all of the above. When a contour map of the hill is required, when the contour map of hill is required, by the space of cross section in the hilly country is usually 20 meter. The space of cross section in hilly country is always 20 meter. Indirect method of contouring. The best method of interpolation of contour is by arithmetic calculation. The method of surveying in the field work and plotting work are done simultaneously is called compass surveying, labeling, plane tabling, chain surveying. Plane tabling is done in both the field and the plotting work simultaneously. The method in plane tabling, the instrument are to be measure horizontal and vertical distance directly is known as plane halide, telescopic halide, tachometric, clinometry, telescopic halide. In plane tabling, the instrument used to horizontal or vertical directly measure like a telescopic halide. The plane table surveying is the most suitable for the preparing small scale map, particularly advantageous in magnetic area, less costly and satellite survey than a satellite, less costly than a satellite, all of the above. The operation of turning the table so that all the lines on the paper are parallel to the corresponding line on the ground is called labeling, centering, setting, or orientation. Operation of turning the table so that all the lines on the paper are parallel. All the lines are parallel to the paper, to the corresponding line ground के parallel हुन्छ पेपरमा like orientation. This is called orientation. Plotting of small areas which can be commanded from a single station. बाट small area में plot गर्दाखेरि is usually done on the plane table by the method of गर्छ प्लेन टेबलमा लाइक के मेथडलाई के भन्छ रेडिएसन मेथड. It is called radiation method. Plotting of small area which can be commanded from a single station command गर्छ small area मा is usually done on the plane table. त्यो पनि plane table मा गरिन्छ by the method of radiation को द्वारा गरिन्छ यो. The method of intersection in a plane table. Method of intersection in a plane table is commonly for all of the above. Is commonly done for allocating the distance and inaccessible point, locating the broken boundaries, locating the point which can be used subsequently as the instrument station. All of the above. यो सबै गरिन्छ यो intersection method in plain table is commonly done. The method of plain tabling commonly used for establishing the instrument station only is called method of radiation, method of intersection, method of traversing, method of resection. Method of resection is done. Method of plain tabling commonly used for establishing the instrument station. Instrument station establish गर्नलाई commonly use गर्छ plain table method. त्यो के हो? Method of resection. Method of resection भनिन्छ. एउटा सिंगल स्टेशनको लागि रेडिएसन सिंगल स्टेशनबाट सबै स्मल एरियाको लागि काम गर्यो भने रेडिएसन कुनै पनि लाइन पेपरमा कुनै पनि लाइन पेपरमा प्यारलल हुन्छ करस्पोन्डिङ लाइन अन द ग्राउन्डको प्यारलल हुन्छ त्यसलाई के भन्छ ओरिएन्टेसन. Spirit level in plain table is used for spirit level is used in plain table is used for centering, sighting, north marking, north labeling. Spirit level plain table मा के काम गर्छ? लेबलिङ गर्छ. स्पिरिट लेभल प्लेन टेबलमा के गर्छ? के काम गर्छ? केमा हुन्छ? लेबलिङमा चाहिँ लिन्छ. A reverse curve consists of reverse curve consists of a single curve of a circle connecting two straight two arcs of different radii bending in the same direction. Two arcs of equal radii bending in the same direction. Two arcs of equal or different radii bend in the opposite direction. Two arcs of equal or different radii bending in the opposite direction. Different radii bending in the opposite direction. Curve reverse curve त्यसले नि के गर्छ? के कन्सिस्ट गर्छ? के कन्सिस्ट गर्छ? टू आर्क अफ इक्वल दुईटा आर्क हुन्छ इक्वल हुन्छ और डिफरेन्ट रेडियाई हरेक रेडियसमा के हुन्छ? बेन्ड हुन्छ इन द अपोजिट डाइरेक्सनमा बेन्ड हुन्छ. त्यो के कन्सिस्ट गर्छ? रिभर्स कर्व. When the center of the arc lies on the opposite side, जब center of arc lies गर्छ opposite side मा of the common tangent at the junction of two curve. common tangent हुन्छ at the junction of junction के हुन्छ? दुईटा कर्वको जंक्सनमा. It is known as simple curve, vertical curve, compound curve or reverse curve. उसलाई के भन्छ? रिभर्स कर्व. के भनिन्छ? रिभर्स कर्व भनिन्छ. रिभर्स कर्व कहाँ युज गर्छ? जब कि सेन्टर आर्क लाइज गर्छ अपोजिट साइडमा कमन टेन्जेन्ट हुन्छ कुनै पनि दुईटा कर्वको जंक्सनमा. कमन टेन्जेन्ट हुन्छ दुईटा कर्वको जंक्सनमा. उसलाई के भन्छ? रिभर्स कर्व. A simple circular curve is designed by the radius of curvature of the curve, angles subtended at the center by a chord of the any length, angles subtended at the center by a chord of particular length. Simple circular curve केले डिजाइनेटेड हुन्छ? केले हुन्छ? angle subtended at the center. Angle is subtended at the center मा पाई और chord of particular length कुनै पनि particular chord को particular length एंगल त सेन्टरमा बनाउँछ त्यो पनि एउटा chord को particular length degree of a curve is the angle subtended by the chord of length 15 meter 20 meter 30 meter 25 meter 30 meter degree of the curve in the angle subtended by a chord of length 30 meter where r is the radius of curvature, d is the degree of curvature, and the length of the chord is 30 meter. Then the relation between r and d is r equals to 720 upon d. 720 upon d. The angle between the back tangent and forward tangent of the curve is angle between the back tangent and the forward tangent. Angle between the back tangent and forward tangent of a curve is angle of intersection. Angle between the back tangent and the forward tangent of the curve is angle of intersection. The angle between the back tangent and forward tangent of the curve. Back tangent and forward tangent of the curve is angle of intersection. The angle by which the forward tangent deflects from the back tangent of the curve is called deflection angle. The angle by which the forward tangent deflects from the back tangent of the curve. The angle by which forward tangent deflects from the back tangent. Forward tangent is deflect or the back tangent of the curve. Like in the deflection angle. A deflection angle is less than 90 degree, more than 90 but less than 180 degree. Equal to difference between angle of intersection and 180 degree. Equal to difference between angle of intersection and 360 degree. The angle and the answer is equal to the difference between the angle of intersection. Equal to the difference between angle of intersection and 180 degree. Angle of intersection and 180 degree. The length of peg interval for flat curve. Length of peg को length interval for the flat curve. Flat curve को लागि कति हुन्छ 30 meter. When the length of chord is less than the peg interval is known as subchord. When the length of chord is less than the peg interval is called subchord. Subchord. It's called subchord. Total length of the curve is equal to pi r phi upon 180 degree, pi r pi into phi upon 180 degree. Total station is electromagnetic distance instrument measuring instrument. Total station is electromagnetic distance measurement instrument. Total station is electromagnetic distance measurement instrument. The different grades are joined together by vertical cord. Different grades are joined together by vertical cords. Different grades are joined together by vertical cords. Point of curve is point of consignment. 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 Angle of intersection of a curve is the angle between forward tangent and backward tangent. Angle of intersection forward tangent and backward tangent. Forward tangent and backward tangent. Forward tangent and backward tangent. लाइक भी करो यार, अभी तो और मज़ा आएगा पढ़ने के लिए, कुछ नया सीखने के लिए। The point of curvature is point of consignment. The angle of intersection of the curve is the angle between forward tangent and backward tangent. Forward tangent and backward tangent. Forward tangent and backward tangent. The size of the plane table is 350 into 500, 450 into 600, 500 into 800, or 600 to 750 mm. Size of plane table is always 600 into 750 mm. 600 into 750 mm. Flowing side are taken on a turning point. Foresighting only, backsighting only, foresight and backside only. Turning point. Flowing sides are taken as turning point. And that is both foresight and backside. The type of survey which requires least office work is plane table surveying is taken as a least office work. The overturning of vehicle on a curve can be avoided by using overturning of vehicle on a curve. Curve overturning that can be avoided by using compound curve, vertical curve, reverse curve, transition curve. An ideal vertical curve to join two gradient is an ideal vertical curve To join two gradient, দুইটা gradient দিলে parabolic, its form parabolic. The angle between the prolongation of the preceding line and forward line of a traverse is called deflection angle, included angle, direct angle, none of the above. Deflection angle, it is called deflection angle, it is called deflection angle. An instrument used for centering in the plane level table is spirit level, leaded, plumbing fork, trough, compass. Plumbing fork. Plumbing fork is used for centering in the accurate centering in the plane table survey. Accurate centering in the plane table. 3-point problem can be solved by 3-point problem. 3-point problem can be solved by tracing paper method, Bessel's method, Lehman's method, all of the above. Tracing paper, three-point problem. 3-point problem can be solved by tracing paper method ले पनि हुन्छ, Bessel method ले पनि हुन्छ, Lehman method ले पनि हुन्छ. यसको आन्सर चाहिँ डी, all of the above. Parallax is an adjustment carried out in parallax is an adjustment carried out in chain surveying, leveling, plane table surveying, none of the above. Leveling, parallax is an adjustment कहिले गरिन्छ, लेभलिङमा गरिन्छ. Correction for sag is always positive, negative, either A and B, neither B and A. Negative correction sag जहिले पनि के हुन्छ, नेगेटिभ नै हुन्छ. 1 mile equals to 80 gutters chain. The missing of station of the ground survey can be found out with the help of reference sketch. Missing station of ground survey can be found out with the help of reference sketch. Reference sketch को help ले के आन्छ missing station ground survey को पता लगाउन सकिन्छ. With the help of tachometer we can measure vertical angles. Tachometer ले के गर्छ हामीले vertical angle पता लगाउँछौँ. In order to determine the natural features such as valley, rivers, lakes and the surveying prepared is topographic survey. A level surface to which elevation of different points are referred to is known as datum line. A level surface to which elevation of different points are referred is known as datum line. A relative permanent point of reference whose elevation is known as benchmark. A relatively permanent point of reference. cross staff, cross staff, cross staff, cross staff, cross staff is used, cross staff is used, cross staff is used for setting at right angle, measuring contour gradient, split taking levels, or measuring distance. इसका आंसर के हुन्छ सेटिङ आउट राइट एङ्गल क्रस स्टाफले के गर्छ त्यसको लागि युज हुन्छ सेटिङ आउट राइट एङ्गल ट्रायङ्गल while serving a plot of land by using plane table the field conservation एमा छ and plotting proceed simultaneously and plotting do not proceed simultaneously and record in the field book to be plotted later all of the above इसका आंसर हुन्छ ए and plotting process simultaneously and plotting process simultaneously in the instrument which is used in plane table for obtaining horizontal and vertical distance directly without restoring to chaining is plane allied telescopic allied clinometers tachometers. The answer is telescopic allied. Plotting of inaccessible point on a plane table is done by intersection. The plotting of inaccessible point on a plane table. Inaccessible point plane table मा plotting is done by traversing. Is done by intersection. Is done by intersection. Is done by intersection. Intersection. Is done by intersection. Inaccessible point. Locating the position of plane table station with reference to three known point is known as three known point. तीनटा known point छ with locating गर्छ plane table position plane table with reference to three known point is called 3-point problem. The orient a plane table at a point with two initial points, the method only generally adopted is two initial point भनेपछि 2-point problem. यहाँ 3-point known point छ भने यो 3-point known method भयो. The smaller horizontal angles between the two meridian and survey line is declination, bearing, azimuth, dip, azimuth. It is a small horizontal angle. There is small horizontal angle between true meridian and survey line. Survey line र true meridian को बीचमा small horizontal line त्यसलाई के भनिन्छ azimuth. The vertical angle between longitudinal axis of freely suspended magnetic needle and a horizontal line at its pivot is known as dip. is known as dip. Angle between vertical angle between longitudinal axis of freely suspended magnetic needle and a horizontal line at pivot is deep. Magnetic bearing of survey line at any place. Magnetic bearing जाने सर्वे लाइनमा एट एनी प्लेस के गर्छ यसले remain constant, change systematically, varies differently in the different month of year. It is always greater than true bearing. आजलाई यति नै सर्भेको भोलि अर्को पाठ आउनेछ सर्भेको नै हस् धन्यवाद राम्रो लाग्यो भने लाइक फलो सब्सक्राइब गर्नुहोला।